Hi guys, welcome to Pick Me Up Sis podcast. I am so excited about today. Keisha, are you excited about today?
Very excited.
Yes, we are talking about today the power of sisterhood and building supportive communities. Keisha, how important is sisterhood to you?
Well, I'm going to be transparent right now. I don't have any friends.
You got a sister.
But anyway, of course, it's extremely important because, you develop trust and love. And, with my sister, she pulls me out of my shell. So that's always a good thing. And, and it's very helpful. So it's a good thing to have that community. That's what I was saying.
Yes. Sisterhood for me is very important too. Because sisterhood doesn't always have to just only be biologically. Mm-hmm. Sisterhood is like what you were saying, community. Mm-hmm. Sisterhood can be in a workplace.
Yeah.
Sisterhood can be on a podcast.
Yeah.
Just so happen it's biological. But anyway, sisterhood can be in organizations that you may be in. Mm-hmm. Sisterhood can be in just community, like you were saying. But at the same time, anybody that believes in you and you believe in, and you are like-minded, and you're for a purpose or a cause for the betterment of the community or a family or whatever. Sisterhood, that's sisterhood. Mm-hmm. And brotherhood too.
Yeah.
We have to be sisters to our brothers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's very important.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
What is the importance of embracing and learning from each other's differences?
Differences. Well, one person's strength, of course, could be someone else's weakness. So if you are, the type of person that loves that person, you begin to trust that person. Mm-hmm. And so therefore you allow them to help you to develop in those areas.
As far as the differences?
The differences.
Okay.
Yeah. So if somebody, you do want to have, a community or a group of friends or whatever, where of course not everybody is alike. For me, I'm kind of shy.
Yes.
Very shy at times. And she's not. And so again, that pulls me out. Then other times she's doing too much and I'm like, you need to calm down,
What's too much? It's never too much.
And then it tones her down, or I'll say, Wendy,
Excuse me, y'all.
I'll say, Wendy, think, look at it like this or pay attention to that. When you enter into the room, stop for a minute, look around to see. And she's like, oh yeah, you're right. I wasn't paying attention, And so because I'm very observant and she's so loving, want to love, which is a good thing, and want to hug everybody all the time, which is a good thing.
Yes. But
I want to pause because, sometimes you can kind of see that somebody, I put it like this, just because somebody's smiling at you don't mean they like you. So that's very unfortunate. I'm not trying to take it negative. I'm just saying that I can see that and I have to tell her, you need to pause for a moment, and pay attention. And so I think that we help each other.
Yes.
And then with her, she tells me, Keisha, come on,
Yes.
And so it's a good thing.
Yeah, and that is our differences. Mm-hmm. But we all have differences too. You have some people that, a lot of times they're uncomfortable with having sisterhoods because it's not easy for them to trust. Oh,
right.
Yeah. So that makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah. And love too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people really, it's unfortunate, But sometimes people don't really love themselves.
Oh, definitely.
So you can't love somebody else. You can't, and if you can't love somebody else, you certainly can't trust them. Because if you don't really love yourself, then what does that mean? You know, what is that saying?
Yeah.
You can't even really trust yourself.
Yeah.
So,
Now that's very, very true. And that's why one thing about it, what we want to help everyone to dig deep on the inside of you so you can get to know more of who you are so you can love on you, you know? So you can form sisterhoods and brotherhoods and, you know, any type of hoods, the good ones, okay? Where you can form community with each other and, you know, for a better cause, because we are better together than we are apart, you know? And that's what the importance of sisterhood is to me, you know? And I'm glad that you were sharing that, Keisha, about the fact that, yeah, sometimes I can be a little, when I go in places, because I'm so hype, I love people, you know? I may not see certain things, but when the time is right, I will see it. Now, don't get it twisted. Now, I'm not that naive. I ain't naive now. It's just I love hard, you know, and I love people and I see good in people, but I can also see other things too.
Right.
You know? But even when at the times when you may see it, God still may allow you to be the light in that person's life. So just because somebody else may see it as, nah, don't be around them, God may have a reason for you being around that person to show them something. And the same thing for you. You know, you could be that person that where somebody say, you know what, don't be around her. You know, and they don't even know you. Like, you don't know me to say, don't be around. You know, see, that right there to me breaks up sisterhoods. When you judge people, when you really don't know who, you don't know them to judge them. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you get a feeling, you know, then you have to pay attention to that, like what you're talking about. You have to pay attention to that and say, you know what, I think I'm going to kind of fall back a little bit till I see what this is or who this is. Yeah.
Because again, not everybody that smiles at you really likes, you know, they don't really like you. They might be smiling at you, but they don't. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying that those are things that we have to pay attention to while forming, you know, the sisterhood.
She's
just
right.
Making sure that this is a person that I can grow to trust. Because think about it, sisterhood, you're sharing things about yourself. Well, at least you should be able to within that sisterhood.
Yes.
So when you're sharing things about yourself, things that nobody really, you know, information no one is privy to, you want that person that's smiling at you and kikiing in your face to be genuine.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So,
you're right. Yeah. But you know what? And I'm glad that you said that, Keisha. And that right there brings us to, at the same time, stay close to God. It all goes back into staying close to God, because God He will show you the signs. He will show you who life you're supposed to be in, what season this is. Sometimes you're in people's life for a season. You may have a sisterhood with somebody that you're just in their life for a season, just for them to get whatever it is, what the purpose was for you to be in their life. And then afterwards, you could be somewhere else and they could be somewhere else.
Yeah.
But if you stay close to God, He will show you those things too.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Keisha, share some stories I'll share some stories. I was trying to tell her to share some stories, but yeah, I am just her sister. Yeah, that's true. Well, I can think of a lot of sisterhood stories. We have a sisterhood with Tasha, you know.
Okay.
I remember when...
Wait, what was the question?
Share sisterhood stories.
Oh, just some... Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah, I remember when I was expecting with actually both of my children. I have a girl. We have a friend, Natasha. She's been in our life for over 30 some years. And at this time, while I was expecting with my daughter, it was time for me to go to the hospital. You remember? I was getting in the tub and stuff. You know, I wanted to get in the tub, make sure I was clean. And I'm over here in labor. And I was getting in the club. No, I was expecting with Elijah.
Okay.
And I was getting in the tub, and Tasha said, Wendy, are you sure you're supposed to be doing that? And I said, I don't know, Tasha, but I got to make sure. So I got in the tub and everything, and she pulled right up, came in the house, got me, took me to the hospital, stayed there with me the whole time because y'all still living out of town. You was on the way, but I need to get there soon.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And so she stayed at the hospital with me while I had my son and everything. To me, that is a sisterhood. She loved me enough to stick by my side. She's still by our side now. Even at the hardest times, I had that sisterhood with her when Keisha and I went through homelessness and everything else. And I'm not saying this for a pity party. I'm saying this because it's the truth. That sisterhood, she never left us. She stuck right by our side and took us where we needed to go and all of that. We could cry on her shoulder. So that sisterhood, it's very important.
Yeah.
That's one sisterhood story, and I have a whole lot. But do you have anything to add to that with Tasha?
Well, with Tasha, you know, she's always been that person where you can tell her anything. You never, in 30 years, we've never heard anything repeated.
Right.
We can trust her.
Yes.
You know, and we can trust her with our hearts.
Yes.
Like I could trust her with my heart. You know, she's also the type of friend where even if we're not in the room, if somebody is saying something, which of course people are nice, you know, usually friendly and nice. But if they saying something out of the side of their neck, Tasha gonna be like, "Excuse me, who are you talking to?" Wendy, what? Wendy Armstrong? No, I don't know that about her. So she's not going to be nasty, but she is going to shut it down, you know. And so, but again, that's a sister. That's what a sister would do.
Sisterhood,
like,
yes.
I'm not going to stand here and listen. No, that not about my sister.
Yes.
You know. So, and we can trust that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And that, you know, that was a great example because you do want to make sure that you have integrity in your sisterhoods. You know, you want to make sure that you are not backstabbing and backbiting, as what they would say. You know, go to that person, have a talk with them, let them know how you're feeling, because when you have a true sisterhood, you can communicate with each other. Have that sit down and talk. You know. Yeah. And if you still don't agree, you can agree to disagree.
That's it.
And still move on, you know, and still love each other. Yeah. So, okay. And I'm going to tell another story of a sisterhood.
And wait, one thing too, with sisterhood, sometimes when you have a, you know, sisterhood, sometimes one sister might be way up here with you for a season, for a few years. You know, y'all doing everything together. You still have the others. But then at another time, another season, she might fall back.
Yes.
And the other, you know. So it's just very important to not get upset, you know, or get mad like, since you got married, you know, you don't hang out with us. And whatever the case may be. Like, no, that's still your sister. It's just she's doing something different. But don't lose, you know what I mean? So, anyway.
Yeah. And you know something about sisterhood too is the fact that when you have true, genuine friendships and sisterhoods, you can go without talking for months or even a year or so and pick right back up where you left off.
Very true.
You know, and I'm not a man, but I'm sure brothers probably feel the same way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, I ain't talked to my bro and such and such. But when you truly have that bond, you can pick back up. Be like, what's up? How the family doing? You know, like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
You know, that's true sisterhood and bonding. You know, so that is my last story from sisterhood, because we're gonna go on to another question. Okay. What is some ways that you feel like that sisterhood helps you to navigate through challenges together?
Well, what are some ways?
Yeah. Different ways. Like, for instance, even with that situation when I spoke about being homeless, we navigated through that challenge together when we were younger, you know? And at that time, think about it, I had just had Nisha, you know? So everybody needed to pick me up. And we needed to be picked up at that time.
Yeah.
And we was picking each other up.
Yeah.
At that time. And that was a challenge that a sisterhood navigated through together and was picking each other up. So what is some ways that you feel like other sisters or people can navigate through challenges, you know, with the sisterhood?
Probably, for me, I would say like praying together.
Yes.
Definitely. I know for myself, I really do love the fact that sometimes we'll fast together.
Yes.
Yeah, fasting together about a situation, something you need clarity for, and you just want to share that and say, hey, I need for you to fast a few days with me because I really need a better understanding of this, and somebody that will do it, you know.
Yes.
So yeah, just phone calls, conversations.
Yes.
Definitely sacrifice and serving.
Yes.
Serving and support.
And the good part about it with you and I is the fact that even our conversations always go to something about God.
Yes.
We never get on the phone or off the phone
Right.
without saying something about staying close to God and how we love Jesus Christ, how He is our Savior,
That's it.
and how, we thank God for salvation.
Yeah.
We never ever get off the phone without saying something about that and how grateful we are that Grandma raised us, to be who we are.
Yeah.
That's a blessing. It's a blessing. And nobody's saying that other people ain't have good grandmas in their life like we did.
Right.
But we want to toot her horn a little bit. Miss Clara McCullough. She did a good job.
She did.
She did what she was supposed to do.
Yeah.
She made that stamp. And she made a stamp in the community as well. And those that know her and all the sisterhoods that she formed,
Yeah.
that she was sisters with, they're going to say great things about her. Because she was a wonderful, wonderful person. Yes.
Yeah, that's very true. And she was, again, she was very genuine. And, she didn't look to the left, to the right, see what everybody else was doing. She kept focusing on what she was doing.
Yes.
How she was, helpful. Just being there for people. If the phone rang, she was going to answer the call. She was going to answer that phone. And at the same time, she was going to listen. And that's another thing. Listen.
Yes.
Listen to your sister, Listen to her. Or listen to, your brother. If a guy is trying to, or if you see that he's in his head, he might not share everything because men don't really share a lot. But he might not share everything. But if you see that he's in his head, pay attention. Ask maybe a question or two just to find out, what's going on.
Yes.
And then from there, become a listener,
Yes.
see if he will share. And that way you're able to help
Yes.
men as well.
Yeah. And be patient with them, like you said.
Yes.
And then not only that, always watch your delivery with people and men as well. When people have an experience with you, you want to make sure they have a good experience with you. And if you are snappy or, or flipping out on people or anything like that, and we all have done it in some part of our life, but when you do that, they don't have a good experience with you. So you want to always try your best to, be that light, handle people the right way, so they can have a good experience with you and they can feel open talking to you and feel comfortable. You know?
And not feel shut down.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because again, we're talking about trust. That's the quickest way to make someone no longer even think about trusting you.
Yeah.
Or
even want to have an experience with you.
No, not at all.
And then not only that, if they are the type of people that share with other people, then some people won't even want to, have an experience with you because whoever told them might be a reliable source. It might say, no, don't go over there. Because last time I asked her such and such, she, I didn't have a good experience with her. I mean, that's in business and everything.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because like what we said, sisterhoods can be in business. It could be in church. It could be in your household. It could be, think about it, in schools. Sisterhood can be anywhere between men and women.
Yeah.
But, okay, so what is a empowerment and collaboration of sisterhood that cultivated meaningful relationships with other women and men that you know about?
Goodness, that I know about. Probably
The choir.
yeah.
That was one.
Singing in the choir. Another one would be like Bible study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bible studies. What about when we used to go to the Y?
Yes.
When we used to go to the Y, they had sisterhoods there, counselors and stuff that was right there to pick us up.
Yeah.
We were young, but they were picking us up, leading and guiding us in the right direction. And then remember, a lot of them took a liking to us.
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah. And when they were asked, what do we want to be, we'd tell them what we wanted to be and stuff like that. Yeah. So, that happened in the Y when we were younger.
Yeah.
Think about, like I said, when we sung in the choir, you seen a lot of sisterhoods in the choir. A lot of people formed together and had a tight friendship, a bond, different places like, even with you, when you were going to Smith and you were a senior, you and Manita were still friends. That was a sisterhood.
Right.
Even though she went to Dudley. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a lot of sisterhoods that you form. You may not consciously look at it and call it a sisterhood because you might be like, that's just my friend. Or that's just this. But it's a sisterhood. Anything that works together, and this is my opinion, any people that can work together, women, whether it's a man and a woman, where it's a sisterhood to him, and they work together for a cause, to me, it's forming a bond, which you can call a sisterhood.
Yeah, that's true. And see, you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
You wouldn't call a man. How do you feel about that?
No,
Let me ask you that.
I think that's wonderful. I'm still stuck on trust. I'm still thinking about like so many, I'm like, I didn't trust them,
Oh.
So I'm going over to Mama.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. But Manita, you did.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah,
that is a sisterhood.
Yeah.
Yes. We don't, we talk to each other on social media from time to time. We like each other's, Instagram posts and things like that. She's doing so well. I'm so proud of her. Her daughter is going to be married.
Yes.
She's just an amazing mom, everything. But again, we haven't seen each other in years. But I know if we were to reconnect, we would pick back up.
Pick back up where you left off.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is a sisterhood. Yes.
Yeah.
For me, I'm a people person. So I always form different bonds and stuff. Not only that, I am a hairstylist. If you guys don't know, I am a hairstylist. So being a hairstylist, you get to come in contact with a lot of different women. And men too, because I do hair color on men and stuff, and now I got beard products. I'll let y'all know about that too soon. But but anyway, being a hairstylist, you come in contact with a lot of women, and a lot of people trust you in that industry and share a lot with you, and your clients become your family.
Yeah,
and sometimes you empower each other. You cry together, you pray together. It's a lot of times when you gotta speak life into that client while you're doing their hair. You thank God. And then before you leave, you thank God. Thank you, Lord, for choosing me. That you put her in my chair.
Yes.
To use me to say something powerful to her. That's a sisterhood. That means I love you enough. Even though you my client, even though I'm gonna make some money, that can't top what God put me in your life for. To be your sister at this moment when you needed me. Because he always send them. And now that's what I love about being a hairstylist. But I wanted to share that because there's a lot of sisterhoods that are formed just by me being their hairstylist.
That's so good.
Yeah, so I thank God for that.
Yeah, that's very good.
And sister, you may feel like that I got to say something about my sister. Yeah, I know my sister, honey. She may feel like she don't have a lot of friends, and Keisha, she don't care to really have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she is very impactful. She is a wonderful, wonderful person, and I love her dearly. But but yeah, she has a lot of people that I'm sure that look up to her outside of me being her sister. Yeah, I'm sure because we are a vibe. If y'all get to know me, I like to have a lot of fun, okay? Pick me up, what? Pick me up, sis. but yeah, when I do share my sister as far as and tell people who my sister is and everything, because she is married, so she don't come out much, which it's fine with me and it's fine with her too, right?
It's been fine. Yeah.
I try to get her out. That's what I be trying to do. Not out, she's married. I'm not. So not get out like that, okay, Rome, if you're watching. But no, I'm just saying, like, just to come out because she doesn't like to be around a lot of people and stuff like that. But when people do see you, they are inspired. That's what I want to tell you. So you're doing your job, just being Keisha.
Yes.
And I love that part of you. Keep being Keisha.
Okay.
Okay.
I sure will. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, for myself, I think something that I should have said is ministry. Ministry also is a way, that you can kind of, grow in that and be around like-minded people whenever it comes to, again, how you value God, how you love on the Lord, and Him teaching you how to love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Good job, Keisha.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And she does a good job of that, knowing that ministry. Yes. Yeah. So let me think of another experience that I've had with you, Keisha.
Oh, gosh.
As a sister. Okay, yeah, let me I got to tell a funny little moment. I got to tell a funny moment when we were kids. So, yeah, we were children. I was always the shortest one. Always have been. Not only was I short, I used to be skinny. When I was younger, okay? So, I was very spoiled when I was very young. And my sister was very overprotective, okay? And it was one time we were on the bus.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah, I got to tell the story.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So we were on the bus, and then a girl pulled my hair, or she did something. What did she do, Keisha? Anyway, she pulled my hair, and we got off the bus with the girl because our cousin lived over there. Oh, my God. And I think we came outside to play on the merry-go-round. So Keisha was very patient. Now, she was very patient. She told the girl already, keep your hands off my sister.
Lord.
So we're on the merry-go-round. The girl keep pushing the merry-go-round. And I kept saying, I'm getting sick. I want to get off. I'm getting sick.
Yeah.
And she kept pushing it hard. Keisha took the girl, grabbed the girl, ran her head into the brick wall, and said, leave my sister alone. You trying to make her throw up? You trying to make her throw up? Yeah. That would be my sister. Okay? Overprotective at that time. So anyway, I'm sharing that to say, yeah, Keisha's laid back, she's sweet and all of that, but at the same time, they needed to hear a funny story about you. That's what they needed. Y'all needed to hear a funny story about my sweet sister, all Miss Priss and everything. Don't mess with her sister. I said all that to say, y'all, it's a sisterhood. It's a sisterhood. And I hope you feel that same way about your sisters and the ones that you choose to form a sisterhood with, to have their back. Make sure you're being that shoulder to lean on. Make sure you're being that person that empowers them.
Yes.
Make sure you're doing that. Make sure you love it on them at the times that they need it. Speak life into them. You know? Make sure you're doing that.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do.
Yes.
And we try to do it to any person that we come in contact with, because we deeply love people. You know? So, but Keisha, how do you feel about that? You feel the same way?
I do.
Yes.
I really do. And I think sisterhood, it's so good. It's so valuable because of it helps you manage stress.
Yes.
You know, if I get anxious about something, because I'll overthink it. I'll just keep thinking. And then I call her and she's like, what? Oh, don't worry about that. You know.
The queen of it.
She is
Like, what?
Yeah.
Girl, please.
She is so unbothered. So I need that because it helps to manage that. You know what I mean? To keep anxiety away, because thoughts will come,
Yes.
you know. And for myself, she helps me not to, of course, like she said, you care about people.
Yes.
But whenever it comes to others' opinions, she could care less. And so that's very helpful for me.
Definitely.
Because
Very
I
nice.
am very much a person that likes to, keep in mind, how I present myself, what people might think, what room am I walking into, are they going to think this or think that? Are they late? How are they? And she's like, who cares? Come on, let's go.
Yeah, because I feel like this. The room just got better.
Yeah.
It just got better when I came in there.
Right.
And that's the way I want you to, I always want you to feel like that too.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be here. What you mean?
And see that.
And if they thinking that about me, that's on them.
That's on
'cause
them.
I'm supposed to come up in here.
That has been so helpful for me over these past years. I've gotten stronger because of those phone conversations. And so now, whenever that tries to rise up, I immediately know how to kill it. I'm like,
Good
and
job.
so of course it's because of being able to think back. I'll hear her voice, and so those are good. Those are good things.
That's part of a
Part of
sisterhood,
sisterhood.
like what we said. Make sure you be that to your sister. Or and you have your own way of doing things, but make sure that when your sister needs that, you be that person for her, because that's exactly what we do for each other.
Yeah.
And other sisters too, other people around the world I'm speaking at, because we're going to touch a multitude of people and help them and pick them up. So make sure y'all know that, and y'all going to say, woo, them sisters. Yeah, them sisters, because why? God did it. You have anything to add?
Well, again, I was just going to say, a lot, it always goes back to trust,
Yes.
being trustworthy. The scripture says, if you want friends, then you need to be friendly, right?
Yes.
And so, in my opinion, if you want that sisterhood, think about, again, go back to self-examine. Think about your heart. What are your motives?
Yes.
If your motive is to have a lot of friends or people around you that support you,
Yes.
okay, then you need to learn how to become supportive,
So true.
you know,
Yes.
and develop that skill. So that way, because if you're expecting that, then you need to be it.
Get it? Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so true. Because how can you have an expectation of others that you're not willing to give yourself?
Right.
Yeah.
No,
that's true.
it don't work like that.
That's very true.
And people will point it out. If you're not supporting them, but you always want everybody to support you, they're not doing that. People will not do that. After a while, they will look and they'll say, wait a minute. You know, he's a taker or she's a taker. You know, it's just all about them.
Definitely.
Yeah. And so it's got to be reciprocity in it.
Yes, definitely reciprocity. And I definitely believe in reciprocity.
Yeah.
And you do too?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Do you believe in reciprocity? Got a joke with him too now. Yes, but this has been another episode of Pick Me Up Sis podcast, where we are speaking about sisterhood and how important sisterhood is to you. So make sure that you pick your sisters up, form communities around empowering each other, because a lot of us need empowerment in our lives to keep going, to keep on doing what it is that God have us to do. And look, keep God first in everything that you do.
Yeah,
Okay?
exactly.
Thank you for watching.